record. We have begun. Hello.
Hello.
It feels weird not having Robyn here to do
It
this.
does feel very strange, but we do let her go on holiday occasionally.
I don't think we should.
No?
I think she should have
ban
to.
it.
Yeah, she should definitely have to turn up for this. This is important stuff. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm just miserable with this weather. I walked the dog this morning and it smelled like autumn. And now it's raining and we've got storms tomorrow.
Yeah, it's blowing a gale here. The windows keep shuttering, so they've all closed now. But hey ho, I'm quite happy actually because it means it's almost Christmas. So I know you're excited, don't lie.
I'm very, very excited, you can tell.
And we have Christmas market plans now, so you should be even more excited.
We do. Where were these Christmas market plans? I can't remember.
Well, with Ursha
and Krishna, but I can't from Anna Harmony, but I can't remember where we were going to go.
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere where there's markets. Actually, you guys could come to Manchester. We could do Manchester Christmas market.
Manchester Christmas market's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. They didn't have it last year, so
no.
I didn't go.
Yeah, that might be an idea.
Yes, and there's an ice skating there too, I think, somewhere.
So Ursha can teach us to ice skate.
Well, we can just hold on to the side.
She'll just go whizzing round.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, welcome to today's Avidmode chats. If you've not been here before, usually we talk about things like web design, digital marketing, business, strategy, all of that kind of good stuff. Today we're doing a little bit of a side topic, although it's still relevant.
I have no idea what we're doing
it's
today.
Secret, because Robyn was meant to be here, so we've decided to go with something a little bit off the wall. So what we're going to do today is not quick fire questions. Don't cry, you're fine. But I've got this list of like social media prompts, and a lot of the questions on there are good. So I thought I'd focus them towards you and see what your answers are.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's
I'm a guinea pig, am I?
Little bit of a guinea pig. But they might take a little bit of mouldering over in the brain. So we'll see how this goes. So the first one is, share one way your business has changed your life and inspired, or how could you inspire others to follow their dreams through your business?
How has my business changed my life? Well, I don't have the extraordinary 2.5 hour commute each way into Canary Wharf that I used to, which is extraordinary. So I've got a lot more me time, but it doesn't always turn into me time, does it? It turns into working on the business time. I like that freedom. I know everybody says it and it's a bit trite. I'm no longer working for the man. I'm working for myself and for those around
the woman.
me. So the woman, well, yeah, whichever. It's always been men, so the man is definitely it. Yeah, so I guess that's one of the biggest things. The way that it's changed my life is the way that my hours work.
Yeah,
I don't get up at 4 o'clock every morning now. I get up between 5 and 6. It's different. It's just a different contrast. And inspiring people. Just the fact that you can do anything you set your mind to. If you have an idea for a business, do it as a side hustle, work it alongside, where you're actually working, and you can achieve what you want. I was talking to a guy yesterday, Nigel Morgan from Morgan PR, and he's just inspired a young person. It's amazing. There's this girl at a skateboard park near him, and she's a tattoo artist, but she passed her exams just before lockdown. So because she hasn't got the full portfolio and she hasn't done the work, she'd have to retake it all over again. And he was like, well, your art's amazing. Why don't you put it on T-shirts and sell it either via Amazon with their drop shipping or Teespring or whatever? A week and a half later, she set it up and she's already made £200 in sales.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's just those things, learning, because we're in digital marketing, digital PR, and we've always done affiliate marketing since 2006, 2007. It's those little bits of inspiration of being able to pass that knowledge on to people, and I hope that's what inspires them. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think he's going to create some journals, which will be interesting.
Okay, that's fun. Very nice.
Yeah.
I think those are good answers to that question.
Did I do all right?
Yeah, that'll work for me. Okay, so you've kind of covered share one thing. Is there another thing that you can think that you love about what you do? Something that you did maybe today that made you smile in your day?
I had conversations with 3 different people today, 3 different clients about very, very different topics, and about their journey to launch their businesses. They were all new startups, and that was an absolute delight. And also the fact that I'm having face-to-face meetings with 2 of them in the next couple of days. So, you know, that made me smile, because it was even though we're not normal and I'm wearing masks to go somewhere, it's nice that you feel comfortable saying, okay, I'll meet you for a coffee.
Yeah.
You know, you have that initial conversation on the phone. If things sound okay, then yeah, let's meet up and have a coffee and chat it through. So I love that. I love that. Love speaking to people. I know I'm shy and I'm an introvert, but yeah.
You're sort of like me, a little bit of like an introverted extrovert, because when you are with people and you are talking about something you love, you do like really like jump out of your introverted person and into an extroverted person. And I think that's quite interesting, the way that we both sort of do that, because I noticed that in myself as well.
It wears us both out though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Once you've finished and you've come down from that high, I'm just wiped out.
Yeah, it's like I need an entire weekend now just to not talk to anyone, which is awful, because I think it's really difficult for a lot of people like us to then put the energy into sort of stuff outside of work, right? Like friendships outside of work, and focusing on non-work related things, just because of that difference. But I think it's something you learn as you keep going, and you have to work at it as well, because for me it doesn't just happen.
It doesn't come easily. No.
So yeah, no, interesting. Right, what else have I got? Okay, share your morning routine. How do you prepare for work and the day ahead? This is a difficult one for you, because
it is a difficult one for me, because I tend to have BNI networking 2 mornings definitely a week, every week, but 2 weeks of every month I have it 3 mornings a week. And then if I'm stepping in and helping another chapter out, then I'll have it 4 mornings a week. And if it ends up like Green Club is on that very same week, I have it 5 days in a week. So I tend, that's why I still get up early, even though I work for myself, but I've always got up kind of early, I think. So my morning routine is very much, the alarm goes off generally at 4:45 or 4:45. 4:45 is my preferred one. Then I get up, I walk the dog. We have Jasper, the husky collie cross.
Is he with you today? Not seen him.
Down on the floor next to the Evan. You can see a bit of him. So I have walk him, maybe have a bit of breakfast, make a cup of tea, sit down at my desk, work out what I'm due to do that day, update my board with my to-do list, update my law of attraction journal with what I've got on, what's going on, fill in what my goals are for the day and for the week, what the week's priorities are, make sure that I'm still working on those, and put down what I get for achieving that goal.
Okay.
And so I've been spoken to very much by Janet from Apples to Zinc, about not making that food related.
Okay.
So I'm still working on that one. Yeah.
So it's like I had that conversation with Janet as well, where she's like, there has to be something you look forward to every day.
Yeah.
Not related to food.
Yeah.
And my one isn't usually like a food problem, but I have the same thing where it's like I put something in the diary that like I'm working towards for the end of the day. And it actually does help, because I don't get the scary Sunday feeling anymore.
No, not at all.
Because I know I've got something on Monday to look forward to, instead of like I feel like I used to always like reach for the time off. So like I'm reaching for the weekend, or I'm reaching for holiday, or Christmas or something. And sometimes, especially when you're in the middle of summer, those times can be
so
quite far away.
aren't they?
Yeah. But yeah.
So today I get to play Final Fantasy.
Exciting, like everybody else from WoW.
What's that about?
I don't know. I logged onto Twitter earlier and was like, everyone's
limit raiding. They're raiding in Final Fantasy. He was putting calls out on Twitter yesterday to look for, I think, a couple of healers and one more DPS to join the guild and raid in Final Fantasy. So that's kind of cool.
Watch that later.
Yeah, so I'm going to play for a couple of hours, I think, this evening. But I think I weave that in with being more mindful about what I watch as well, because you know me, I can just binge watch a load of nonsense, and then Daniel will say to me, well, have you watched X yet that I said to you to watch? And I'll go, no, I watched this really awful, dreadful film. And he'll go, well, why did you keep watching it? Why didn't you just go to your list? So now I'm mindfully setting out what I want to watch as a treat as well, as well as reading.
Good old reading. Yeah, I like that.
Those are my go-tos. But I did, last week's big goal was that I was going into town, so I was going to pick up some Ella cups. They're really lovely vegan little cups of they're chocolate and peanut butter and stuff. That and a nice cup of coffee, which I did have.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's nice. It's just those little things and taking that space and time for yourself, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, and actually I think it sort of filters in with what you were saying about actually going to see people and have coffee, because I felt through working from home, and obviously we've worked from home for a really long time, but we used to you used to see a lot of people anyway. And that actually does set out some set timelines and guidance for when you're doing stuff and when you're not. So like you're walking to and from, Flavio's, or you're going to Costa or whatever, and you have that time either side to sort of be on your own, walking, and doing whatever.
Such important from a creativity perspective and from a strategy perspective.
Yeah,
all of that in between time is the time where you do your best work.
Yeah, I agree, because I find that I don't have that a lot, and that's why I end up having to be away from the laptop and away from the office table so much, because it just doesn't come to you otherwise. You need that space and that thing to look forward to, like eating delicious eggs
Benedict. Which Daniel doesn't, by the way.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he cannot understand why, if I need to get into the mood for doing a big piece of writing or something, I take myself into, so I've got a desk set up up here. I've also got a desk set up downstairs by the garden window, and then also I'll go to a cafe. And depending what mood I want to get into, I go to very different environments, and he doesn't understand that at all, because he's good at his desk. He's fine.
I think Jim's very similar as well. He doesn't really have that need. Different strokes for different folks.
Indeed.
Yes, right. Oh, this is really randomly off topic, but what is on your playlist at the moment, on your Spotify playlist or your Audible playlist? Because I know you like listening to your books.
I do like listening to my books, and I don't have Spotify.
Okay, your YouTube music.
I'm a YouTube music girl. So I am currently listening to my favorite songs from my playlist of 2020. And that starts with these terrible songs, so nobody judge me for this. I love metal, and this is none of these are anything to do with metal. So I've got Me and My Broken Heart by Rixton. I've got Let Her Go by Passenger, Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol, Wherever You Will Go by The Calling, You and Me by Lifehouse, Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, Marvin Gaye by Charlie Puth, Wake Me Up by Avicii, I'm Yours, Jason Mraz, How to Save a Life by the Fray. That's the top ones on there.
Yeah. I feel like all of those are on my playlist as well.
I tend to listen to that when I'm walking. So yesterday I walked into town and back, so those were the tunes in my head. And I'm not telling you what's on my Audible playlist. Absolutely shocking. We're in summer trash season.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny.
No, that's not.
No, keep that. Yeah, I've just finished the True Blood series, or almost finished. I'm like 50 or 60% into the last book now, so I'm quite glad after 13 books that that's almost done with.
Actually, I don't feel so bad now.
No, it's yeah, no. Honestly, they were good books, but I feel like I've been reading them for about 2 months and something different is needed. So
what do you want to next then?
There's a book called The Maidens, I think, which is, I was on inspiration drives last weekend to see whether I could find anything, because I knew it was coming up to the end of True Blood. And there's a lovely woman called, I'm not sure what her name is, she's Book Nest on YouTube, and she does sort of a monthly book review of what she's read, and she sort of has goals, and she does like games to choose which book she's going to read and all that kind of stuff, and she's recommended that one as a good read, so that's next on my list.
And as an aside, do you remember the bloggess?
The bloggess, yes.
I used to read her blog all the time and engage with her on Twitter. Absolutely love her. She used to be really into taxidermy. She wrote a couple of really good books.
Funny books.
Really, really, really good books. She's opened a bookshop.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I was so excited for her. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm glad to see that books are back in vogue with everybody.
Yes. Yeah, we're back on the vibe.
We are.
I like that a lot.
I'd still love to have a bookshop.
Yeah, as long as it smells like old books and coffee, I'm in.
And comfy seating, yes please.
Yes, exactly. Well, let's see what else we've got on this list. Okay, this one's more businessy. So share a story about the client experience. What's it like to work with you directly?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. It's a tricksy one.
It is a tricksy one.
I think a lot of the time we tend to pivot to who we're working with.
I think so too. I agree.
I find that we as an agency have tried a lot of other people's sort of project management tools, and we always find that every individual business that we're working with or individual that we're working with needs something a little different, something tailored a little more to them than what those projects can really. I mean, we use the framework, we use like a base level framework, don't we?
Yeah, we absolutely do. And I think people want different levels of engagement, and we like to work with clients who are interested in the process, who want to collaborate, who want to get things done together as a team. That's not to say that we don't take on projects where that somebody just says to you, here you go, just do this and knock it out, because we can equally do that. But I think the ones where you get a better experience and probably a better result in a lot of cases is where there is that interaction. So almost weekly coaching sessions around what a website means to your business, what the deliverables are, how you should look at those deliverables and how they intertwine with your goals, and actually thinking about what your business goals are, what you want from the website. So all of that coaching piece that we do around, I think that's the experience that they generally get from me. I mean, we have different people to deal with different things, don't we? We've got Mike who looks after the project timeline and is very structured, and deals with all of the pricing side and all of that kind of thing. So he's very structured in his thinking, where I think you and I on this side of the business we go with the flow. If we get corporate that we're working with, say in risk management or in finance, then we provide them with a very different service to those that we would provide to a therapist or or something like that, because they need different things as people.
No, I agree. I think it's an important distinction to make, because you need to work out who you are when you're sort of coming into getting your website built. You have to think about, what do I really want from it? Because there's so much you can learn in terms of marketing or your digital marketing through your website, and you need to think about whether you want to pick those things up. And personally, if it was my website, I would definitely want to, because who knows better than the people creating a website what you need to be doing with it, where you need to be going with it, who, and having those sort of brainstorming sessions to work out what it is for, who it's for, why you want it, all of those kind of things. So yeah, and it's different per person. It really is different per business. But yeah, no, good answers there. What else have we got?
The men in our business, I would say, are definitely very on point and very Scandinavian, to the point.
They are
helpful, but
they tend to do a lot less
client interaction,
client stuff anyway. So when you are interacting, it's usually us.
Absolutely.
And it's just who you work well with. I mean, there's tons of web designers and web agencies that do things entirely different to how we do. It's just who you work with best, I guess.
Suits you.
Right. Share a question you're asked often and the answer. Is there one you can think of off the top of your head? Go on. Oh, she's got a list. She's got a book.
Why wouldn't I just have my business on Facebook?
Oh, okay. We're going to do a thingy about that in a couple of weeks.
Well, I won't say much about it then. All other than
don't. Please don't.
Please don't. One, you can't take payments on Facebook in the UK unless you're a super big, well-known brand. You can hook it up in a really hokey way through Stripe, which is fine, but it's a really bad user experience. Facebook can close down your account at any point without you having any recourse. So my advice is always start with your own website, whether that's Shopify, which is on their platform. So again, think carefully about that. Your own WordPress install with WooCommerce is often the way to go. That is the biggest question I get. And I've written reports on it for people.
You actually, to be honest, we should probably put it on the blog at this point, or put it as an FAQ.
Should. I mean, I have got a whole 5-page document that you will want to reduce.
Hey, shoot it over and I'll do that. If it's already been written, we may as well, right?
Oh dear. Yes, that is the question I'm asked most often. The same with Etsy as well. You wouldn't.
Etsy.
So Etsy, I would always have a website first, then promote through Etsy. Yeah, because you own it, right? Most people on Etsy, when you get something from Etsy, in the box is a card to their website, because they want you to pay via them, because Etsy takes a big chunk.
So Etsy is more like just window shopping.
Yeah, I would. It's a distribution. It's a way that I would distribute my services. So if I was selling like a book, or maybe a book's not the right thing, but some training of some kind, something like that, I would have it on my website, distribute it on Amazon, distribute it on Etsy, maybe eBay, and then you've got this whole distribution network that you might get your first sales through, and then that you funnel them into your website.
Okay, interesting. Hadn't really thought about Etsy too much. We don't really work with a lot of people with Etsy stores so far, right?
No, we work with one so far. It's much bigger in the US, although I do buy a lot from Etsy.
I do too. Maybe I should be looking for their websites instead of the...
always go to the websites the second time, only because I know it won't cost them as much.
Yeah, fair enough. Note to self, do that from now on.
Be kind.
Be kind. Okay, share something that gets you fired up and raring to go. What inspires and motivates you?
music.
Music.
Music. If I put that playlist on in the morning, I'm off like a shot.
Oh, okay. So it's like your little signal to start work.
It is. It's like, I walk the dog to it, and I'm ready to go. And sometimes it's different music, different times. It depends how much you're motivating. I mean, Eminem sometimes motivates me. Depends if I need a good talking to.
It can be a bit scary.
I'm Not Afraid.
Hey, I've got that. It's literally on my Spotify thing right now. Look.
Love it. Oh, that is a brilliant song for motivating you, actually, because it really pumps you up, right? And I am listening to what are they called? Blind
audition, blind.
No. What
Channel.
are they called? Blind Channel, thank you. I'm listening to that over
From Eurovision.
From Eurovision. Well, yes, I am subscribed to them on YouTube. I'm looking forward to their new album. I've been listening to short snippets of their live stuff in Finland.
Oh,
that's
really
so
good. Cute. Yay.
Grand.
Eurovision did something.
They did a grand job. So yeah, music is what motivates me.
I'm trying to think. My main thing that gets me started in the morning is my first cup of tea. Before my first cup of tea, I'm useless, and oftentimes Jim sort of wakes up like an hour, maybe half an hour before I do, and he'll say something to me, and he'll go, or later in the day, but do you remember what I said to you this morning? And I'd be like, no, not got a clue. Because my day literally my brain doesn't start until I've had my first cup of tea and I'm like sat down with it, drunk it. And
I have on occasion said to you, have you had a cup of tea yet?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, and I'm like, go on.
Yeah, it literally doesn't work. And I feel like that's normal, because ever since I was a kid, I've always had my first cup of tea when I wake up in the morning.
Absolutely.
When we were getting ready for school or whatever.
When you're a baby.
Yeah.
We didn't have tea in her bottle.
Did I? Well, I don't drink that tea anymore. I only drink green tea.
Decaf and
decaf green. But yeah, so a bit of a difference there, but still, there's nothing quite like a good cup of tea, I find. Let's have a look. What else have we got on this magical list? Okay, this is a strange one. Share advice. Where do you see a mistake being made, and how can it be avoided? Is there something that's commonly a mistake that we're seeing at the moment? I mean, other than the website or the business on Facebook thing.
I think everyone is there's two things going on at the moment that I see a lot of. One, people aren't giving themselves enough credit and enough space to make decisions, and therefore they're not making decisions. They're just ignoring having to make a decision, and I think that's because of overwhelm. So I think that, and on the other hand, there's another set of people who are rushing into making decisions, big decisions, and not taking that time and space to think about it. So I think at the moment, in where we are coming out of lockdown, where things are changing, I'm seeing a lot of people making rash decisions and not making decisions. So two sides of one coin, right? There seems to be no happy medium. And I know I'm someone that needs to think about stuff. That's my personality trait. But something that you'd normally expect a decision from a client in terms of a colour or something, you don't normally expect a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's actually taking weeks.
Yeah.
And it's because of that dwelling on this whole, I don't know what's going on in the world at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on. We're unlocking, we're not unlocking, numbers are going up, numbers are going down. Should I book a holiday? Shouldn't I book a holiday? Am I going to see friends? Am I going to see family? It's all,
there's so many decisions to make.
Am I going to have a job? All of these things is like either making people freeze or making people go, I've got to make a decision now, otherwise I'm going to miss out, I'm going to miss the time. So I think making space, realizing you can't do everything, putting stuff into blocks, and say, I'm going to think about that for this 10 minutes and then answer, and scheduling it out. I know I've had the same problem, you know, it's not, you know, it's something I've suffered from too, but yeah, I think we've seen a lot of that recently.
I guess because also the fact that a lot of people who are running businesses have had to make not rash decisions, but very quick decisions. Once we realized we were going into lockdown and people realized I have to change the way my business works. That may have.
I think so. But I think the saying that my grandma always used to say to me was more haste, less speed. Because if you do something hastily, you're doing it in the proper way, but at a slightly more increased level, you're doing it faster than you normally would. If you speed to do something, you're not giving yourself any thinking time at all, and you've always got a little bit of time to just step back and go, is this it? I don't know.
It's difficult because you can't really help someone with that as well, because a lot of the time those decisions are something you have to do like internally for yourself. So it's a tricky one.
No, we're giving people as much time as they need. If we're seeing that they're making hasty decisions, we challenge them.
Speedy decisions.
Speedy decisions. Are you sure? Because quite often I'll go onto a call with somebody now and they'll say yes to absolutely everything, just like that, off the trot, one question after another. So I challenge them and ask them another question, because you don't want it to be wrong. And there's always different options. So when somebody gives you an option for a website, you should be having a conversation and a question and answers. Things that you don't understand. Why have you got that there? Why have you got this here? Are you sure that we couldn't do this, that, or the other? And a lot of it, I'm just getting yes. And I'm thinking, okay, that may not get you the best product, because yes, I'm giving you my best efforts of what I think suits you, your business, and your customer, but I need your input too. So yes isn't necessarily great.
I think a lot of people don't value their knowledge as well. I think a lot of the time when we're talking to clients, they want our advice, which I totally get, because we build websites. So yes, our whole part of our job is researching and working out who your market is. But I always say, and I say this for blogging as well, you know your business way better than we ever will. Unless you're doing something that we've done in the past that we can totally be on board with, you will know and have that innate understanding of your business that we just won't have. So you giving us that input and having that back and forth and that discussion is actually really helpful, not for us and for you, because that way you can sort of, I don't know.
Well, you get the best. You get the best of both worlds, then, don't you? And you make sure that whatever you've designed has been rigorously discussed and improved upon to go to launch.
For sure. And also they're really fascinating conversations to have. I love sitting in rooms where we've done a couple of brand strategy or brand clarity sessions, and they're in totally different worlds than I've ever been in, and sitting in them and listening to everyone speak about their business is just fascinating. I could write notes and notes and notes on people's thoughts. It's just really, really interesting to listen to. So remember, there might be
somebody from outside. That's really important to have that in the room. I hear a lot of people saying, oh well, I'm going with such and such because they've got industry experience. And I think both of the two that you're talking about, I had industry experience in. And it's always important to have people like you or Sophie or Helen or somebody in the room as well who has no knowledge of that industry at all, because the questions they ask are likely to be the questions that your clients ask who have no awareness at all.
No idea.
So it's really important to not just be building stuff with people inside that industry bubble.
Because oftentimes the people that are reaching your web pages aren't people that automatically know what they need from you. No. I have been going through the process of trying to understand financial stuff, so through mortgages to loans, to all of this stuff that has never even come into my life before. I'm 28, almost 30, and this is all totally new to me. But when I'm going onto these websites, I don't know like what's going on, but I am in a position to buy a house or to start up setting up accounts for saving and retirement, all of this stuff. But I wouldn't know that stuff like just out of the gate, right? So I am one of those people. So I am a client for this financial advisor, but I don't necessarily know that. So yes, having that outside influence or that outside point of view is just as important as having sort of the interior view as well.
You often know your own jargon, you're immersed in it, don't you? And it's really hard to deconstruct that if you're in the bubble.
Yeah, indeed. Right, I think I've got one more question. I've got, I mean, there's a lot of questions here. Okay, this is going to be totally random. What is your favorite food? Because it's Thursday and it is almost food time ish.
What is my favorite food?
You can pick a cuisine if you want.
How many cuisines are there?
One.
So I love Japanese food, I love Chinese food, I love Thai food, and I love Indian food. So Asian subcontinent is probably my my vibe.
I would go sushi every day. Yeah.
It's the whole Japanese thing. Their cutlets, their yakitori, their sticky rice, their pickles, their miso, their steaming bowls of udon, ramen,
edamame.
Yeah, there's not much from there that I don't like. And Chinese food, I love that equally. And put me in an Indian restaurant or with an Indian cookbook and I'll walk away quite happily. So yeah, anything. But the thing is, I love Italian too, and I love French food.
Butter.
Cheese.
Don't say it too loud.
Yeah, food's a difficult one because I do like food from all over the world, but I think those are my favorites.
Okay. All right, one last quick question. If you could choose to go anywhere in the world right now on holiday, where would you go? Anywhere.
South of France.
Oh,
Provence, probably.
Good choice. Very nice.
Somewhere with a swimming pool.
I bet it's hot as well.
Yeah, nice and warm.
Yeah.
Good food.
Bread.
Good sunshine.
Bread, butter, cheese.
Lots of bread,
wine.
butter, cheese, wine. I'm done. We're settled.
It's not that far away, and they did put it on green now or something.
They did. I can't believe that.
I know. So
shocking.
Yeah.
Either that or somewhere on an island. Mauritius or somewhere would be nice. I've never been to Mauritius.
No.
But I had a friend from there and she said it was amazing. So
white sandy beaches. Yeah, that would be nice actually. Right. Well, that's the end of this one for this week. Next week, I think Robyn's back with us.
She is back with us.
She's currently on holiday, so we'll see what she's been up to next week. So we will catch you. Go on.
I was just going to say we should leave them with the thought, where would you rather be?
Yeah, where would you rather be?
And if you don't know, speak to Mark Pollard from Tony Sheldon Travel.
Oh goodness. Right, peeps, we shall see you in the next one.
Awesome.
Goodbye.